Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to This One's Dedicated To. I'm Jennifer Ziegler.
And I'm Chris Barton, and we both write books for young people, and we love talking with other authors of books for young people about the dedications in their books.
And that's what This One's Dedicated To is all about. And today we are thrilled to have with us the most excellent, the endearing, the elegante Angela Cervantes, who is here to talk about her book, LETY Out Loud. Welcome, Angela.
Yeah. I'm so glad to have you here with us today.
So glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
To get us started, would you please read for us the dedication that you wrote in LETY Out Loud?
Sure. So my dedication reads, to my human siblings, Lorenzo, Rio, Enrique, and my furry four-legged siblings, Cheech and Chong.
All right. So why is this book dedicated to the people and the creatures that it's dedicated to?
Sure. Well, every book I dedicate to someone that means a lot to me. And my first book was dedicated to my mom and dad. So I already got them out of the way, right? You know, my parents are amazing and I wouldn't be even the writer I am if it wasn't for my mom and dad. So my first book was already dedicated to them. And then my second book was dedicated to my best friends growing up. It was a book all about friendship. My third book was dedicated to my husband. You have to do that. And happy to do that. It was all about love in Mexico, so it seemed right to dedicate that one to him. And then this was my fourth book, and it's about a girl who volunteers at animal shelter, befriends a sweet little pup named Spike, who she really wants to take home to her family and adopt him. And I said, well, I have to definitely dedicate it to my sisters, my brothers, and my furry friends that were like my furry siblings, basically. They were named Cheech and Chong, and Cheech and Chong were particularly important. First, the name. I mean, okay, so let me tell you the story of this. So my mom used to work at a center called El Centro in Kansas. And this is a social services organization for Hispanic families, Latinx families. And she was a secretary. So during the week, she was a secretary for them. By night, she worked at a Mexican restaurant as a waitress. And one day, some guy walked into El Centro with a box with two tiny pups, black and white little pups, didn't know what kind of dogs they were. They were mixed mutts, he said. He said he needs to find homes for them because he's already given the other ones away. He had these two last ones left. And my mom, who already had 4 kids at home, worked 2 jobs, a waitress and a secretary, decided, I can't separate them. I'll just take them both home. So my mom at El Centro decided, well, I'm going to take these 2 dogs home to my kids and surprise them after school. And one of her coworkers named Gilberto, who was a great mentor to me all my life and, oh my God, a great advocate for Latinx and education his whole life, he said, you should give them a cool name. And they came up with all these crazy names like Pancho, like for Pancho Villa, and, you know, and then Gilbert said, how about Cheech and Chong? And my mom thought that was the perfect name. So one was Cheech, one was Chong, and she brought them home, and it was right after school. And I just remember, still to this very day, and I'm gonna start crying, but I can remember the day they came home to us. Like, they were so tiny, so cute. One of them was shaking. Cheech was. He was really scared and shaking. And Chong was the female of the 2 litter pack, and she was just like a Pomeranian, fluffy, and the most beautiful face you can ever see, like just a beautiful face. She was playful and running around, but Cheech was all scared. And I remember just putting him on my chest, laying down on the floor, and just letting him feel my heartbeat, not knowing that's what I was supposed to do, but just feeling like that was the right thing to do for him. And just feeling him on my chest, the shakes going away, and just having that connection with those dogs. Something else that was going on in our life, and I think this is why my mom didn't want to separate them and was so much like, even though she already had so much on her plate and sometimes we barely, could pay the heating bill, and, she used to cry at the table because she never made enough tip money. So economically, we were very strapped, okay? And she brought 2 dogs home that a big economic, you're gonna have to feed them, take them to the veterinarian, anything happened to them. So why did she do that? Well, my parents had just gotten a divorce. So my dad was out of the house. We lost his income. So we were on our own. And we were also sad. My brothers were really angry. Me and my sister were worried about my mom because she was crying all the time. She was sad. Divorce is hard. Losing your income, losing a father figure. Are you making the right decision for your kids? You know, she did make the right decision, but it had to be very hard. I think my mom bringing those two dogs home, Cheech and Chong, was a way of sort of like just bringing some joy back into the house. And because she had to work 2 jobs now, she would be gone all day till about 5, have a short break, and then go to work in the evening. She always used to say, like, she just didn't want us kids to come home to an empty house. Mm-hmm. And the dogs were always there, and they would watch over us at night, even though her work was just right across the alley from us. So those dogs just had such a big part of our lives. I really think they helped us survive that whole trauma of divorce. And I think they really did keep us safe, and they gave us so much fun and joy. They just filled a very sad home with joy, like in a day.
Yeah.
So that is why I dedicated this book to them, because in this book, LETY Out Loud, you see the healing powers of dogs and cats, you know, and how they can really, when no one understands you in the world, humans don't understand you, people judge you, dogs and cats are just kind of always there, and they take you as you are. And that's the beautiful thing about animals and furry friends.
So are any of the interactions in LETY Out Loud based on real life interactions with your siblings or with the four-legged Cheech and Chong?
Yeah, Spike on the cover right there, he is inspired by Cheech for sure, because he's an out of control dog. And Cheech was, Chong was a very sweet, playful dog, but always knew not to get out of the yard, always knew not to chew up the furniture. Spike, or Cheech, on the other hand, was always just like out of control wild dog, you know. He was just running away every day. We'd have to be like yelling down the street, Cheech, Cheech, and people would be like, are you looking for Cheech? We're looking for Cheech. You know, we saw him that way, we saw him this way, Cheech, you know. So it was always something with Cheech. And so Spike is inspired, even the way he looks. Like when they asked me, does this look like Spike to you? I was like, that looks like my dog, Cheech. Yeah. And my sister always jokes that, like, oh, you always liked Cheech and Chong more than you liked me. You played with them more. And it was kind of true. I mean, you know, she can take it. She's a grown woman now.